For years, AI companies sold a simple idea: pay one monthly subscription, and some of the world's most capable AI models are yours to use. This week, that idea became a little more complicated. One leading AI company introduced separate usage pricing for its flagship model, even for customers already paying a monthly subscription. On its own, that's just a pricing change. But pricing decisions often reveal something press releases don't. Here's what actually changed. The company's newest flagship model now carries usage-based pricing. According to its published pricing, developers are charged separately based on the number of input and output tokens processed. Meanwhile, other models remain available under existing subscription plans. Those facts aren't controversial. The interesting question is why the company's most capable model now sits behind a different pricing structure. There are several possible explanations. The first is technical. More capable AI models generally require more computing power for every request. Serving millions of complex responses every day is expensive. Charging based on usage is one way to match revenue with those costs. That's the business explanation. But there may be another. Flat-rate subscriptions work well when most customers behave similarly, but AI usage isn't evenly distributed. Some people ask a few questions each week. Others rely on advanced models all day for coding, research, automation, and business workflows. Those two groups place very different demands on the underlying infrastructure. If heavy users consume a disproportionate share of computing resources, a single monthly price becomes harder to sustain. Usage-based pricing shifts more of those costs toward the people using the service most. Whether that's fair or frustrating depends on your perspective. For casual users, the change may have little practical impact. For developers and businesses building products on top of these models, however, pricing becomes part of product planning. When your AI costs scale with usage, budgeting becomes more complicated. And once your business depends on a particular model, switching providers isn't always simple. Here's the part I find most interesting. For years, the public conversation around AI focused on capability. Every release promised a smarter model, faster performance, or a bigger leap forward. But capability isn't the whole story. Economics eventually catches up with technology. My reading of this pricing change is that we're beginning to see those economics become visible. Not because one company is doing something unusual, but because the cost of delivering cutting-edge AI appears to be shaping the business model in new ways. That doesn't necessarily mean subscriptions are disappearing. It doesn't prove every AI company will follow the same path. But it does suggest the industry is experimenting with how to balance innovation, infrastructure costs, and sustainable revenue. That's worth paying attention to. The real story isn't this pricing page. It's what happens next. Will competitors keep offering flat subscriptions? Will more premium models move toward usage-based pricing? Or will someone figure out a different way to deliver powerful AI without passing those costs on to users? Those questions matter far more than this week's announcement, because today's pricing decisions often become tomorrow's industry standard. And that's exactly what we'll be watching. If you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe to The Skeptical Machine. Every week, we'll separate the headlines from the incentives and look at what the AI industry is actually telling us. Because in technology, the press release tells you the story. The business model tells you the truth.